welcome to the finale of Hulk Mega Drive 16-bit game, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, we're finally back to the leader's lair, so now let's take it up to him and finish this once and for all.
Yes, we got here somehow, eventually, after going through a big lipped elephant moment.
Sorry folks, we still don't know what the place was supposed to be.
Yeah, but hey, it looks like...
There's no lore whatsoever in the entire history of comics tying into that.
Hey guys,
Yes, please.
I think this is going to be a banner year for the Hulk.
But
Any particular reason?
He was in he was in Infinity War. Be in the sequel.
anyway,
Obviously. Yes, yes, Pedro?
as you can probably see, this level is kind of a difficulty spike. Like there's a shit ton. There's a shit ton of enemies in. There's these things on the floor that take away your health and they drain it quickly, as you just were able to witness. So this level is by far the hardest one in the game, which is fine. It's just that compared to the previous, there was no difficulty curve really. It just becomes way harder.
I just said that more for the pod anyway, Jova.
That too, yeah. What I was gonna say, yeah. It's basically the idea is that we're going. Oh, hello, new enemy.
A drone.
Yeah, a bit of this song sounded like the Thunderbirds theme there for a second.
Also, Teo and Jova, I am still pretty sure that that fourth level that we just went through, that was the result of drugs, not of comic books.
Well, it's like me and Tio said, Pedro. We have found nothing in the comic books lore about it, so yeah.
That's the kind of level you would see in an Earthworm Jim game, not in an Incredible Hulk game.
I mean, okay. The Hulk has done some weird stuff here and there, but even still, whenever he's done something that weird, there's context to it. That had no context to it.
You'd expect something like that back maybe back in the Silver Age, but
no, I'm sorry. Even for Silver Age, that was pushing it. I mean, that's saying something because the Silver Age was
considering the blood and intestine kind of nature. It's something more like the Dark Age of comics will do.
Oh yeah, I might as well establish this. Those panels in the floor, they're gamma drainers, so they only work in the Hulk. But when you're in Bruce Banner, there you go, it doesn't work. But
unfortunately,
when you're playing as, fortunately, I managed to just reach the checkpoint and respawn right where I was.
As Hulk, no less. Sweet.
There you go. Abuse of checkpoint system for the win. Anyway,
Pete Punch to the beat of the song.
Well, I do love this soundtrack. Like I said, it's kind of like the Terminator Sega CD game. Yes, the songs don't really fit with the source material or even much of what's going on, but damn, is it awesome music. I mean, they're really well composed and really catchy. Again, it's just like, oh, hello.
Flatteners.
Just to show you that they're one hit kill, and at the same time, it allowed me to respawn as Hulk. So,
wow.
As you can probably guess by this point, I'm using infinite lives cheat.
Again, for these kinds of games, I don't blame you in the slightest.
It's just because this level is a gigantic. It's not even a difficulty spike. It's a difficulty stalagmite.
It's the classic idea of a game that the idea of difficulty is throwing everything in a kitchen sink at you at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Scrap Brain Zone from Sonic 1 pretty much mastered the art of having a difficulty curve while throwing everything at you without being completely insane. Because at least with Scrap Brain Zone, yes, you could argue that was a difficulty spike, but at the very least, it was done with stuff that you had been trained enough to learn enough, and you could pretty much still handle it. Here with Hulk, let's see, slow-moving characters, so you gotta be exactly pixel perfect with the movements on those rotating platforms, enemies that can gunshot you from a whiles away. Yeah, this is one of those cases where you have to have a complete strategy down if you want to go on a no-damage run, God forbid.
I was actually able to beat this game fair and square back on my Mega Drive back in the day, but it took a lot of password usage and a lot of trial and error and basically mastering this thing, all the patterns, because these platforming patterns they look like they'd be basic getting the rhythm down, but they're harder than they look. Because why? Because let's just say the hit detection is not the best. There you go. I have to...
Yeah, and they start with being out of sync with each other to throw you off guard.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that they can be a bit disoriented with the 3D movements of those platforms and fool you into what exactly is
It's that
solid
last
and what's
processing,
actually
Jova.
there.
Whew, that was close.
And those one could kill you as the Hulk too.
Okay. We got this. We got this. There we go.
I'm guessing they can.
Sorry, what, Jova?
Can those crushers also one hit kill you as the Hulk too?
Yes.
Huh, guess Hulk really isn't the strongest.
Oh well.
Well, maybe.
How do you
Well,
know that in Secret Wars he was able to hold up an entire mountain for a matter of minutes?
maybe there's special. Maybe there's some kind of weird sciencey thing that the leader made. Because if there's one villain that would be able to manage to find a way to do that, is the leader. The problem is, of course, that he doesn't want to kill the Hulk. He wants to absorb his strength for himself. So.
Oops. So they're made from the same materials that the Barrel of Doom, which can crush even Supersonic, is made from.
True.
I mean, hey, it's all on Sega Genesis software.
Well, this game was actually multi-platform. However, from what I've seen, the Super Nintendo version is actually worse. Apparently, the Super Nintendo version is actually even slower, Jova, if you can believe that.
Oh.
Basically, this is
And
from what
Screen Crunch probably doesn't help either.
From what I can tell, Jova, this is yet another one of those games that was made for the Mega Drive. But
Oh, you again!
It's like,
Oh my God, he actually won one.
everybody gets one, Jova.
Well, don't you see, guys? Abomination finally got to win.
From what I'm able of verifying from my research, Jova, is that this was probably yet another one of those games that was made for the Mega Drive, and the Super Nintendo version is a port. Usually, when it comes to games that are made like that, again, it's just like the Perry's games. They usually just better to go with the one that the console that the game was made for. They always usually turn out. Sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes the Super Nintendo version, despite being a port, will be better. But most of the time, it's not the case.
There you go, Abomination. I'm sure it was gonna work eventually.
So yeah, that was the end of Abomination. Not played by Tim.
That one was just to go into a triangle format.
Not played by Tim Roth. Sorry, Rose.
Oh.
All right. There's a mega capsule there, but I'm not gonna bother because that platforming. Oh, never mind. I think I've recorded this a while ago. I don't remember the exact. Yeah, the problem is
How are you supposed to jump up there?
I remember there was a way, but I don't remember which. It's again. This was.
There's a wall jump in this.
I was playing this game for the first time in years when I recorded this, so I don't remember everything. I do remember there was a way, but it just won't come back to me. I don't.
Surprised there's not a wall jump in this game.
Diner seems to be jumping a bit higher than Hulk. Maybe that was it.
I guess they're operating on the logic that, oh, he has less muscles, therefore he's lighter.
No, I mean, he would have been able to get to the mega capsule.
Yeah, and that is more agile, I guess. Dead.
Maybe I don't remember. It's been years. Whatever.
Oh, that actually.
No, go ahead.
No, there was a switch there. Maybe that was tight.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. C-tail. That switch is a beginner's trap. If you activate it, those electric things on the ground will activate. But if you don't activate the switch,
totally.
it's basically it's a beginner's trap.
I guess that's actually smart of the leader. Why he doesn't just have it on by default is a good question.
But Jova, that would make the level design unfair.
Well, I guess he's a villain, so that's their excuse.
It's the same thing as it's the same kind of argument where why doesn't Eggman in that boss from Sonic 4 Episode 2 from the third zone just keep his thing closed all the time? Well, that wouldn't be fair. Video game logic, you just have to roll with it.
Yeah.
Seriously, what the heck are those?
Alright, I think it's now. Yeah, it is now. Ladies and gentlemen, the leader.
Who's just standing by the edge, which we could pretty much probably punch him off.
And they put in a Mega Hulk capsule right in front of him. Okay,
Just in case.
Just in case, there you go.
So, is this seriously the boss fight music?
Are you going to do something, dude?
Any minute now.
There we go.
Was that intentional? Hey, I know how this goes. Then comes boss phase 2.
Nope, we're done.
Nope. He just runs away.
It just runs away like a little pussy.
Really, leader? That was your glorious plan.
Just standing there.
There we go.
Oh, and toss. And he gets
The leader lays defeated along with his armies. The Hulk has triumphed, smashing the dreams of the world's greatest evilest mind.
most mutated man.
There you
Wow.
go. There we go.
There you go. The sun is vanquished the horrible night. Seriously, oh cool.
Ah! Got that face.
Seriously, that final screen looks like a Castlevania end screen.
So the leader couldn't even pull off one of his dashing escapes.
Or use a basic gun.
I will give the 2003 game this. At the very least, the final battle against the leader in that game actually was dignifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also, the music in this one is done by Matt Furness, one of the most prolific Mega Drive composers back in the day.
So funky.
So yeah, now it's explained why it's so good. I love Matt Furness, so cool. Yeah, so that was the Incredible Hulk. Taya, what do you think of the game?
It's fine. The music obviously is a blast, and the game has a wit to it in a sense that it knows how to take itself not too seriously, especially as we just saw. But also with some of the transition where the Hulk just leaps onto something else. However, it still suffers from that old age kind of.
Hold on, let me interrupt you for a moment. Dwibs, did you see the final boss?
No.
Could you please go back in the video while Teo fishes his thoughts? Go ahead.
Anyway, but however, it suffers from those probable problems in a sense that you get those spikes. Sometimes the level design is not too intuitive, like in the Tyrannus level, for example. And honestly, there's not too much variety in what the Hulk does in, like, for example, his moveset and everything. But it's still fine, honestly. For a game of that age, it may have its, its nitpicks, but it's fine. And again, like I said, the wit kind of compensates from that. So
Really?
Yes, Dwibs. That's our villain. I hope you enjoyed
He
it.
just stands there and lets you punch him.
Even better,
definitely
Blitz. He
in
tries
the
to escape
spirit,
and Hulk stops him.
definitely in the spirit of a comic book adaptation. So the thought process actually went.
Well, yeah, this
smoothly.
this game was clearly based on the comics of the time, not based on a cartoon or movie or anything.
All the gem, I guess they're play testers. But no, what I mean is that it knows how to be what it is. So I'm not giving it flack for this. But it's okay. Next.
Jova.
Yeah, it's a fun comic book game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has some notable shortcomings. Like, I wish that they would put more effort into the reasons for stage transitions. They pretty much give up by the time of stage 4. And, okay, I'm a bit half and half on the leader boss side. On the one hand, yeah, what a lackluster way to go out. On the other hand, though, considering the sequence that follows, it feels like a clear comic book move, humor sort of thing to do. So I don't know, part of me is half angry at it, the other half of me is just loving how cartoonish and how in character it is, that the leader is pretty much a weak guy physically, and man, Hulk just made a fool out of him, halting even his escape with a well-aimed chunk of his own castle. And
Love the high score music. Also, Dwibs. The fact that the music is awesome was easily explained by the credits. 2 words: Matt Furness. There you go.
Yeah. The music is definitely awesome and a consistent high point. The difficulty spikes can range from BS to okay. Overall, I'd say if you're a big Sega Genesis enthusiast, or heck, even a comic book video game enthusiast, this is certainly a game for you.
Yeah, it works fine as it works fine as a Hulk game for its time.
I wouldn't go out of my way to play it, but I definitely had fun commentating on this one.
Same.
All right, Dwibs.
Again, it looks alright. It's just, it's a side scroller, and I'm not very good at side scrollers, so it won't appeal to someone like me.
Sure.
But Okay, it looks fine aside from the quote-unquote final boss. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, for me, like again, being the one who grew up with this, yeah, I still have a soft spot for this one. If anything, because of the music. The music is so catchy, and me and my brother grew up with this game, and to this day, we still occasionally hum the music to each other because it's just that damn catchy. Especially the theme of the first level. Like it's just it's a really well put together soundtrack. Like we've established, yeah, it could have been a bit more fitting for the subject matter. However, this was a time where the narratives didn't really matter in video games for the most part. So I'll give it some slack there. It's catchy. It helps make the levels more memorable, and so that's enough for me. The levels are enjoyable enough, and the boss battles, aside from the last one, are reasonably well designed and work well, except for that big lipped alligator moment that is whatever the fuck that fourth level is. It feels like a level that was taken out of a different game. Like, I'm still convinced it kind of is, but anyway. Yeah, but it's fine. It works just fine enough when it is. It has problems, of course, but as far as licensed games go, you could do a lot worse than this. Definitely a lot worse. So it's fine enough. Anyway, that's about it. So tune in for maybe next I'll do the Spider-Man Sega CD game because that's an awesome one. Anyway, see you everybody.
See ya.
Ta-ta.
See ya.
See ya.